start just a few minutes from a general sort of member perspective, like so what they see, what are the few main places that they're going to go to retrieve information, how they change their settings, like important things, just all member perspective initially. This profile is also an admin profile, so once we get to the club profile in a couple of minutes, we'll be able to get into the admin and take a look as well. So it's just a dual purpose basic, club user profile. Okay, so when you log into SportyHQ.com, the first page you get to is your dashboard. Your dashboard is just a collection of relevant, or it should be at least relevant information for you. So as I said a second ago, this is just a club profile. So a lot of the players in Ireland that log in, they're also going to see their provincial organization and all their information, as well as Squash Island. But this is just a club. So I'm just going to run down the dashboard here quickly. And again, we're just going to see information that should be relevant to us, or should be trying to what we'll find out, or where we're trying to get to. So at the top here, I can jump straight into my admin panel if I want. Again, this is dual profile. We've got upcoming matches. So this will be upcoming court bookings. It might show upcoming tournament matches or league matches. Upcoming events, I've just created one at this demo club for us. It's a quiz night. There's no paid sign up, so it's just an instant one-click sign up. But obviously you can imagine having as many as you do at the club level here on the screen. Next up is the club logo and then the membership status box. It will count down within 30 days, which is essentially when the renewal opens. Otherwise, right here in these two windows, it's just going to say you're in good standing. You don't need to do anything right now. So 30 days is kind of the time at which we allow people to start dealing with their membership. And then we can see the membership ID if your club chooses to use it. We also have our event calendar. Again, this could be absolutely many events as you like. And you can also populate it to show events from the provincial or even Squash Island. So if you want to bulk it out, or you want to have nice lots of information on your calendar for the members, you can. Right now, again, it's super simple. We've just got one tournament scheduled, and we can go right into the sign up, or we can click the name and go check out the tournament profile. I'm not going to do that right now because we're saving that for another week when we deal with all the competition elements. But just to give you an idea of the potential of the event calendar and what you can add to it, it's pretty flexible. Next is your news announcements. So as a club administrator from the admin side of things, you can create news. These news announcements do go to different parts of the platform. As you'll see in a sec when we get to the club profile, a lot of this information is replicated. It also can go elsewhere and to a website if you're using us. But again, we're just trying to give you as much information as you can or might need right from your first login. This is just another governing body, and then you get rankings. Fans, you basically track to see what events that they're signing up to, just in case it's any additional interest for you in them. So that's your basic dashboard. Again, it could be, and it probably will likely to be a lot busier. But these are just some of the things that you're going to see. On the left here, we've got a navigation panel. The dashboard we're obviously at. I'm going to take a quick look at a profile. It's probably one of the main places that players, certainly competitive players, will go, because you can see all the information, your past results, your ratings, etc. So we'll take a quick look at that, and then we can move on in a second. So this is similar. I'm going to see in the club profile yet. So this is similar to a social media profile. You can upload a picture of yourself if you want, a background if you want. You can add information about yourself if you want. But the main overview page here is conditioned by what sport you play. Now, most players, apart from the multi-sport clubs, which is possibly what we're talking about, a lot of players will just be, or members will just be squash singles, which is what it's defaulted to. So their overview is squash. So it's my squash rating, my squash confidence factor, match history, rankings, what leagues I'm in, what governing bodies and clubs I'm, and down here, tournament history. If you are a multi-sport club, and we do support, it's very flexible. There's a list of about 30, 40 different sports, but they're really easy to add as well. But you can see this is how you would toggle between them to see the information. Obviously, this overview information related to a different sport. And then the other one I'll take a look at again, because it's a popular one, even though we're not really covering the competition side of things, is the match history. Players can come here and see. So this might be, then matches played at the club, challenge matches, friendlies even, and then obviously competition, like organized competition. But you can see who you played, the effect on your rating, live scorecard, event information, that sort of thing. Again, these are all sort of on the competition side of things, which we'll touch on in that webinar. So I'll leave the head-to-head and the detailed stats with any detail, but I just wanted you to have an idea of what the user profile gets. So when we look at, let's say, how you would onboard a club, and you would be importing ideally a CSV, or even creating the profiles manually, this is what you're creating, is a profile for that person. And then when they activate, and we have, again, bulk tools we'll look at, so that everybody gets the activation link that allows them to create a username and password, just so they can do what I just did at SportyHQ.com, is log in. I'll show you up here quickly too, on edit my profile, because there's some important settings. This may cover some questions that might come up at the end when it comes to users, GDPR sort of thing. Basic information, all the system defaults, any of the custom data fields. Again, that's something we'll touch on, but any of the custom fields that you additionally collect off members when they sign up or join the club. Again, the emergency contact is part of that. You can change your profile photo, obviously. Privacy settings is one of the ones I wanted to touch on. This up here, search bar, is global search. So you can find anyone, including yourself, just by typing them in. Mine's actually off right now, so you can't find me. As soon as I turn it on, then I'll be back up here in the search. The contact and display preferences. So this is who can contact you by phone, by email. And this is important in a minute as well for your member directory. So if a club, you choose to use the membership directory feature, which allows you to, obviously, members to get the information to contact the other members outside of the system. This is here where you can come control it. And then finally on this one is privacy settings. When you join the club, by default, the club administrators are going to have access to your information, but you can come here and revoke it if you want. And this will be for everything from clubs to leagues, organizations, tournaments, etc. So it's just an important one to be aware of. And again, it covers a lot of the questions that do typically come up. So I thought I'd start there. Username, what clubs you're a part of, quick link section, which we can see right here and talk about in 1 second. Email preference is another one, like who can contact you, what emails. Mine's jacked right now, but turning off emails if you don't want to get the standard system emails like bookings or result confirmation emails, class signups, that sort of thing. So there's a long list of different types of emails you can get, but the user does have full control to come and disable them if they want to. And then the other thing here I'll mention is you can also come and get a copy of all the data that we files for you in our system. As soon as you hit request data, then the system will build a CSV of everything that we have, and it's emailed to you. And you can also request closure and deletion of your account if you want to. So those are sort of standard settings that we'll see in use at the club and in any other entity on the platform in different calls. But they're easy to access. It's just top right here in the drop down and edit. Final thing, I guess, which covers, I'll mention before we hit the club, is the switch accounts feature. This is typically used by parents or perhaps coaches just to be able to access a junior's profile. We do look after juniors as well. By default, all their information is hidden. They can't be messaged, that sort of thing. But if a parent doesn't want them to have access to their own account to be able to go and sign up tournaments, which is obviously fully understandable, this would be the feature that would allow them to have their own account, but then get into the kids to perform whatever actions necessary. So I just wanted to cover those ones briefly. Finally, on the navigation panel here on the left, the quick links, your quick links will be added automatically. So if you join a club, you get added. If you join a tournament, whatever it may be, it will get added and removed automatically. You can also manage them yourself if you want to clear them up. But at the moment, I'm just Club Sporty, which is the club profile that we're going to be looking at today. And it just gives me additional links. If I'm quickly looking to get to a certain page, I can do it all from this first login page. I don't have to go hunting around the platform for where I want to get to. The quick links, these are all just searches. They're basically filtered versions of the main global search, so I don't want to go into them too much today. Bookings we're going to be covering in addition time, same as rankings. So really, dashboard and my profile are the two certainly most popular pages that users go and visit. And then the quick links is just a helping hand to, if they're trying to get somewhere, rather than using the search, you should be able to just click your mouse instead. I'll just hide it for now, just to move it out of the way. And now we'll jump over to, actually, I'll use it one more time, or one time just to show us. So we'll go straight to the profile page. Okay, I'll hide it now. Okay, so this is a club profile similar to what we just looked at as a user profile. You can add whatever information you want to it to sort of flesh it out when it's brand new as a new club on the system. Some of the information here is replicated in multiple places because we don't know where users are going to go. They might have this link saved straight to the club profile, might not pay attention to a really busy dashboard. So you can see the logo, the information, you can write reviews if you want. The news announcements that we just saw on the dashboard, they're here too. Same goes for the event calendar, same goes for the membership status, ID, and the renew option. The new options here are rankings. If they're applicable at your club, you can set them up, Google Maps. We've got a variety of information boxes, so you should be able to get in whatever you want to say about your club directly onto the profile. Club contacts, they're just the administrators of the club, just listed as contacts. And then sponsors. So there's a sponsors feature where you can upload logos and information about the sponsors, and you can see them here on the profile too. The other thing I'll bring your attention to is this link section. So very similar to the quick link section we just saw here in the admin, the navigation panel. Just allows you to get to a variety of places right from the club profile rather than having to go find them. I'm not going to go into most of them now, but these are all competition related at the bottom. Photo gallery and documents are two that we'll be looking at tonight. So this is essentially just the members' access to what the admin will do if they want to provide a photo gallery or a file document locker, we call it. So they both just allow you to create a category. This one is obviously I've just uploaded one file, nice basic, just resources, and then the photo gallery, same thing, just one basic folder. You can make it private for members only, which is the default, or you can make it public if you wanted to, and then obviously have as many folders as you want, as many pictures as you want. The membership directory is the one we just talked about. So when we went up here to user, edit my profile, privacy settings, you can determine who at the club can contact you, and whether it's by email or phone or neither. Pretty straightforward. It's just a list of all the members of the club with email and phone number columns. They can be filtered if you want. For small clubs, it doesn't really matter. Same thing goes for a search, probably not required here, but they do exist. Now, if the member has decided they don't want to be contacted, let's say the example here is phone number, I've made it so that they can't, this is what they would see instead. So again, they can control who can see the personal information. Most are okay with it, but the flexibility is there, obviously important flexibility. Finally is the integrate into your website. I'm going to mention it just because you'll see it in a few different parts of the platform, or the features that we're looking at today for a club profile. And it just allows you to, if you're not using a SportyHQ website where it just automatically sort of syncs to it, again, we'll look at that another day. If you have a third-party website and you don't want to switch, that's fine. You can use a lot of the tools that we have in Sporty in a third-party website, and we just provide the code snippet that you would need for it to run, for it to work. We'll go back. Finally, we'll take a look at the classes and courses link, because this is one we'll be taking a look at in the back end in a minute. This is a relatively new feature for us. It replaced a recurring event feature, if any of you are familiar or ever used that one. It just came with a lot more flexibility, and we'll take a look at that, but payment integration, certain tools. So anyway, so this is the member view of the classes and courses. Again, first and foremost, when we built it, was flexibility. We wanted you to basically be able to run any kind of course or class or whatever you want to call it that you could think of. So obviously, for some clubs, there can be lots here in the middle. So we have some filters here on the left-hand side just to make it a little easier to find what you're looking for. And then these are all the classes listed in the middle here. See the name, the basic information about it. You can go through to details page or just immediately register. So I'll do that now. So let's pick this one here. So I pressed that register button earlier today, and that's why when we were looking at our dashboard a second ago, on the upcoming events, it had this available. So for me, so you can see I'm registered, so all I can do is with a withdraw. I will say one thing about this page is that because this user is also an admin, and that's typically, that's normal for users of Sporty just to have one profile. that can either be assigned as admin privileges or class staff privileges to it. It's not like you would have separate profiles which may exist in the system you're using today. So for instance, editing the class, that's all the information when you're setting up the class. That member's not going to be able to do that. They're not going to be able to view the class history to go into all the past classes and check out what happened with all the details of the people and the transactions. But as an administrator or administrative privileges on this profile, I am seeing that. Same goes for managed class. We've also, when we'll look at the settings in a second here for this particular course we picked, you can set it so how far out that members would be able to book, and it's only set for a month. That's why we can only see these 4 here. Obviously, apart from that, it's just the basic times here, the number of registrations, which has been set to 8, and then how big the wait list is, which is 4. We'll take a look now at the flex, all the different options when you're setting up a class or a course or whatever it is you want to call it. There's a fair amount, so a lot of them are just self-explanatory, so we'll just run through the page here, but it'll just give you an idea if you're thinking, oh, well, that might have something that we use now, additional tool, or just as a completely brand new feature. So name, description, category, the difficulty, equipment you'll need, terms and conditions, you have to make them sign when they agree, and then who the instructor is going to be. Next up, the 2 sections are restrictions. So age restrictions, obviously a typical one to prevent, let's say, juniors from joining certain classes. You can restrict class size. That's what we just saw on the previous page, where the class size max was 8, and then the waitlist max was 4. This is a feature that was added again for this idea of flexibility. So you can basically set a time where beforehand members will get an email notification saying somebody has withdrawn from the class, and then it's first come, first served who the members on the wait list will get to go sign up at time. In the event that it's too close to the beginning of the class and a notification telling them that is going to be unlikely to help, we do have an auto promote option. So just the first person on the wait list would get added to the class. Got a schedule, again, pretty self-explanatory, so I don't need to go through it in too much detail here. And the start date, how far advanced do you want to show? So you can see it's set to 30 days. That's why you can only see 4 classes available on that previous page. The registration. So do you want to enable the registration for them to be able to sign up to this class? And then if you do, rather than just being able to click through, it comes with additional options like payments and stuff. So allow registrations at any time. When does it open? What different member types are able to sign up to it? Do you want to allow non-members? So if the person's not a member of the club, you can treat them differently. And we'll look at that as well. The location of the class. So depending on what assets I select here, the class is going to get automatically added to the booking calendar. So that would take it obviously away from the ability for members to book. And then very finally, payments. You can do it with a regular price for everyone. Why isn't this one? I think I changed one of these. There we go. So we can have a general price, which would just be for everybody. You can do it by member type, or there's a non-member option. So that'd be how you would treat a non-member if you want to get, fill the classes or fill the spots in the class. But the members, aren't typically doing it, and you allow non-members to have access to your club. You can allow them and treat them differently as well when it comes to price. So that's a little overview of the user perspective, like what a member is going to be doing with the system, right from when they log in to getting to where they need to go to signing up to a class or what have you. And now we're back at our club profile. We'll take a look at the admin page where a lot of the features we just looked at are configured, and then there's some additional ones as well.